our review of Ultraman Blazar episodes 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these were two really good episodes, and I feel like it's really kind of setting the tone for the show now. I feel like the first two episodes, we weren't quite sure, like, what's the comedy like? Is it going to be more serious? There's definitely a good mix of comedy in this show now. I think that's definitely, like, the first episode was very serious, but then now I'm like, okay, they're going back and forth.
Episode with the fishing scene was fun.
Yeah.
Episode 3 starts right off the bat. Just starts with some kaiju action. We got Taganular draining a power plant of its energy, and it's the energy that this Taganular is hunting down the whole episode, causing havoc. It's called Titanium, a special alternate energy. Basically, this kaiju is going around the planet, going around Japan, destroying power plants and just absorbing all this energy. And then we get a little training sequence with Earth Garon, which is the mecha where we left off last episode, where their first assignment is to defeat a kaiju before Blazar with Earth Garon. And we get a little flashback of Gento has a flashback to the building evacuation where he saw the black hole, and it could possibly be when he first encountered Blazar inside. But we haven't really... I'm up to episode 6 now. We haven't really seen more of those flashbacks just yet. But, yeah, really cool.
There was a lot of like kind of like montage-y scenes in this episode of them training in Earth Garon, and it was kind of funny though because they're like referencing like the manual and like what they have to do, and like, oh, if you turn to page like 1506 and go to section C, like a lot of like really funny like gags, like about like them just training in the mech. And it's like a pretty straightforward episode. It's just like them training, Taganular attacking some power plants, and then he finally attacks like the final power plant, and he begins heating up to like this crazy temperature, and like shoots out a burst into the atmosphere, and Earth Garon arrives, and he begins fighting Taganular, and he kind of fails, so Gento goes outside to override the controls, but then, he transforms into Blazar and fights Taganular, and he gets really hot, so he's like, he keeps on like touching him. He's like,
he's burning his hands, and then this episode kind of like didn't end in a cliffhanger. Like he kind of just like defeated Taganular, and like I said, the first two episodes, they each led into the next episode. This was the first one where there wasn't any cliffhanger, and it kind of just was like boom, self-contained, and pretty cool episode, pretty fun.
Yeah, it was considered a success for Earth Garon, even though he didn't defeat a kaiju before Ultraman did. And then the one thing is that there was like a bit of like a power struggle, like they weren't quite respecting Scarred yet as like an actual government, and they kind of like assert like, no, we're taking care of this kaiju.
When they arrived, that's true. When they arrived, like, who are you and why are you here to fight this? So we're taking... The military is like, who the hell is Scarred? Like, whatever.
I really like the ongoing bits with Emmy where she's like undercover. Like the last episode, like the fisherman was like, hey, do you want to join my crew? And then this time she's like standing next to like the nuclear physicist, and he's like giving her all this information about like the energy and the power plant. And then he's like, who are you?
She's a good undercover operative.
Yeah, so
she's definitely. I think she's definitely the funny character for the series for sure.
Yeah, but like all the rest of the crew kind of has like their own little like.
Everyone has their quirks. I mean, every Ultraman series has that, where the crew's all a bit quirky altogether. they got to keep it light most of the time.
But I guess that this kind of transitions really well into episode 4 because this is kind of like an Emmy episode. Yes. She's undercover for this company. And it opens up with her. She's talking with like the CEO. And then out of nowhere, this like honestly kind of disgusting kaiju pops up.
Yeah.
Looks like some type of like, they just discovered that like Arctic strawberry thing. It kind of looks like that. Like kind of disgusting grub thing.
Yeah, it's just like an amalgamation or
it's supposed to be like some type of shrimp or something that's like turned into a kaiju, but it's disgusting. And he just sends out these drones. It puts this green spray around, and the kaiju just turns into water and dissolves.
And it like sinks into the ground. The kaiju's called Leviera.
Yeah.
Leviera, and it's apparently when this episode starts, it's been attacking Japan for a while now, and every time this company releases these drones to spray it, and it's believed that the company may have accidentally created Leviera because they're the only ones that have the solution to make it retreat, or they defeat it, but they don't really.
But they have to use more and more every time.
Yes, each time they need to defeat it with more chemicals.
So they just keep lining their pockets. I mean, this is just a story as old as time.
Yeah. So the company is like, oh, we'll take care of it. You just got to keep paying us for more chemicals. So that's why Emmy's kind of undercover in the company and kind of figure out what's going on. Leviera appears again, and Earth Garon shows up, defeats it, but it takes 2 rounds of the special FK-1 missiles, which is the chemical that was sold to Scarred.
And after the first missile, they knew that they had to use more. Then, like every single time, they knew they had to use more. So they were like, "Oh, 1 missile should be good. Like this is it's way overdose." They shoot the first one, it doesn't do it, and they have to use a second one. They're like, "What the?" Like they're taken aback. Like they almost get into like a fight, and just about as soon as he's about to strike, he melts back into water again.
Yeah.
That's like kind of like when this whole like subplot of like, we know like this guy's behind.
Yeah, because we find out that the company also makes sea angels.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
And that's when the DNA gets figured out. They're like, oh, it's the same DNA as Leviera.
Yeah.
So
you can continue.
Yeah, so Emmy returns back to the company at night. She's kind of snooping to try to find what's going on, to find proof. So she finds a little secret room behind a picture frame, and we learn that she kind of knew that the company was onto her. So she purposely gets caught getting the proof and has a CEO pretty much confess everything to her, the whole plan and everything, that he's plans on releasing the Leviera all over the world, that he's actually engineered them on purpose so that he could profit off of it. And he says it's not even for the profit.
Yeah,
he just wants to be praised as a hero.
Yeah, there's like a scene earlier in the episode.
Like, I'm getting filthy rich, but I'm also want to just be praised as the hero too.
There's a scene earlier in the episode where he keeps like telling her he needs meditation time. So we actually follow him to like one of his meditation times, and he just puts earbuds in, and it's just people telling him how great he is. Yeah. He just listens to people telling him how amazing he is. So he's like, I just want the adulation for, people telling me I'm doing a great job, and I want everybody to love me.
Yeah.
So it turns out he used to work for like the Japanese like Department of Defense, and they found this back in 2001, this Leviera creature, but they were in the middle of transitioning from analog to digital records. So he took the records, they never got digitized, and took Leviera with him, so nobody knew what happened. So he's been like developing this plan for a long time. One of the things that I thought was really cool and kind of very subtly mentioned in this episode was like, this was going on for months.
Yeah.
So like there's been quite a time jump in the series already.
Yeah, so they kind of let the team develop a little more and have their skills grow.
Yeah, so we're already 4 episodes in, and we already had like a pretty big time, like a pretty decent couple month time jump going on. But yeah, so Leviera comes back. It's nighttime. They're having the human struggle with the people down in the basement of this corporation, but then Leviera gets out. Gento transforms into Ultraman. Earth Garon is deployed, and Ultraman is having a bit of a issue fighting Leviera, which is pretty interesting, because it's honestly this is the first fight that Leviera's been in, because every single time they've never been able to actually engage because FK1 works.
Yeah.
And then right for the Earth Garon fight, it was right before they're about to fight, he melted again. So they're fighting. He's having a rough go at it. Earth Garon's deployed, and he chucks a nitrogen tank.
Yeah. He's like, yo, take that nitrogen tank down here, throw it at Leviera. So that's what they do. It bursts, Leviera freezes, and then Blazar hits it with the Blazar spear and KOs Leviera, seemingly.
And this just gave me really Godzilla against Mechagodzilla vibes, because they have the absolute zero ray.
Yeah.
And now he's freezing Leviera and busting it up into pieces, and I was like, no, Earth Garon kind of sort of looks like Mechagodzilla, not really, but it's Godzilla-esque.
It's a Mecha Dino.
Yeah, it's a Mecha Dino. So I was like, it's pretty cool little episode there. Looking forward to the next two. We're probably going to cover that on the next show.
Yeah, I watched episode 5. That was another fun episode, and I'm behind. I think I have to watch 6 and 7 now. Are they up to 7 already?
I think 6 got... No, 7's out, yeah.
Yeah. So I got 2 more episodes I got to watch. We'll probably cover 5 and 6 next episode. Maybe 7. I don't know. 3's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Yeah. And but yeah, that's about it. Looking forward to the series. So far, so good.